G'day guys, my name's Dave Tran and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. And in this lesson, I'll be teaching you how to play Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis. Now in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play the chords, but I'm also going to teach you how to play the main solo and the guitar lick at the end of the song on the electric guitar. Now if you want to master chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to take your guitar to the next level, then sign up to Guitar Zero to Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Let's jump into the rhythm, and I'm basing this off a live performance that Noel Gallagher did back in 1995. For the basics, you'll just need your guitar in standard tuning and you won't need a capo. Now the guitar I'm playing here today is a Cole Clark Fat Lady 2 with Elixir strings. If you want to find out more, there's a link in the description below. I'm going to start by teaching you the strumming pattern that we're going to be using throughout the whole song. It's really nice and easy. It just goes like this. Down, 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 up. And in succession. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Now let's start with the intro, and it's really nice and easy. Any chord you see up in your annotations in one set of brackets means you play that chord for one strumming pattern. So very self-explanatory. We're going to start with a C chord and play that for 2 strumming patterns. And then we're going to an F sus2. So from this shape, keep your ring and index finger exactly where they are, and take your pinky finger and put it onto the 3rd fret of the 4th string. And at this point, you can lift your middle finger. Your thumb will reach over the top and hit the 1st fret of the 6th string. And you want to keep your 3rd and 1st strings open. So that's F sus2, and that's what Noel Gallagher plays in that live version. But of course, you can just use a normal F as well if you wanted to. And that's played for 2 strumming patterns. So the intro simply just sounds like this. That's repeated through twice. Next, let's get to the verse, and the verse chords are actually the same as the chorus as well. There's a few minor variations in the chorus, but I'll get to that later. So for the verse, we start with our C chord again, and then we're going to a C/B. So you just lift your ring and middle finger, and the middle finger will come up to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So that will be our bass note now. Now with your middle finger already reaching over the top to hit that 2nd fret, you ideally want it to hit the 4th string as well, just very subtly, so that string doesn't ring out. That's C/B, and then we go to an A minor, and then an E major, so it's the same shape, you just move all your fingers up one string. And then we go to our F sus2 chord that we played before, and then G, and then C. And then the next 2 chords, the A minor and the G, are the only parts in the song where we're going to change our strumming pattern. Now for the A minor and the G, we have shortened strumming patterns that just go down, down, up. And you're going to play that for the A minor and the G each, which sounds like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up. So those chords have quick changes. That's it for the verse chord progression, and it will sound like this all together. Moving on, and we'll get to the pre-chorus, which has 4 lines of chords here. We're going to start with an F bar chord, and then we're going to go to an F minor. So we're just going to lift our middle finger from this bar chord, and then we go to a C for 2 strumming patterns. Now that first line of chords is played through 3 times. For our second line of chords, we're going to go to a G chord for 2 strumming patterns, and then our next chord is an E7/G sharp. So we're going to take our index and middle finger and put them on the 4th frets of the 6th and 3rd strings. And then your ring finger will come and hit the 5th fret of the 5th string. And you ideally also want to take your pinky finger and lightly rest it on the 4th string so that string doesn't ring out. So it's effectively muted. And we're going to strum all the strings and let the 1st and 2nd string ring out as open strings. And that's E7/G sharp, and we're playing that for 2 strumming patterns. Then 3rd line of chords is A minor, G, F sus2 for 2 strumming patterns, and our 4th line of chords is just the G chord for 4 strumming patterns. So everything's quite easy, just follow along the chords in the annotations with the typical strumming pattern, and it'll sound like this all together. that's it for the pre-chorus. And the pre-chorus chords are actually used in the solo section as well for the rhythm. Next we get to chorus 1, and the chorus chords are exactly the same as the verse. The only difference here though is the second time round that we play that chord progression, we're going to cut out the last 3 chords. So that C chord and the A minor and G get cut out, and we just go straight back into the verse. For the second chorus, that doesn't occur, and we are just playing that verse chord progression through twice. For our very final chorus, we're playing through that chord progression 3 times, and then we have one final line of chords. We have our C, our C/B, and then when we go to our A minor, we're going to strum this chord once and just hold it out. And then we go to an F, hold that out, and then F minor, and hold that out. And that's the last line of chords for the final chorus, which sounds like this all together. And then we have an outro, which is really nice and easy. The first line of chords is similar to what we had in the verse. So C, C/B, A minor, and E major. But then for our second line of chords, we go to F for one strumming pattern, F minor for one strumming pattern, and then we end on the C. So the outro chords. So those are all the rhythm parts of the song, so very self-explanatory. Just follow along the annotations and the strumming patterns, and it's very simple. Now let's jump into the solo of the song, which is a lot of fun to play. So we're going to start with our ring finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Now we're going to hit this note and bend it up and release it back down, like that. So you bend it up to a full pitch, so it should sound something similar to the 9th fret note. And then release it back down. We're going to do that 3 times. And then we go to the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then 5th fret of the 4th string. And in total for that first bar. For our next bar, you're going to take your index finger and bar it across the 5th fret of the 4th and 3rd strings. We're going to start by plucking the 4th string, and then you hammer on with your ring finger onto the 7th fret, and then hit the 3rd string. So we're going to do that twice. And then your ring finger comes onto the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and we're going to bend that up, release it, pluck it again, and then go down to the 5th fret, 7th fret of the 4th, and back to the 5th fret of the 3rd. So that run in total. And then we end this bar with 2 notes. So 7th fret of the 3rd, and then 5th fret of the 3rd. And in total for the bar. For the 3rd bar, we play the exact same thing we had in the first bar, so nothing new there. And in the 4th bar of this first line tab, we're going to start by barring our index finger across the 5th frets of the 2nd and 3rd strings. We're going to do a double stop here, so pluck those 2 strings together twice. And then our next run starts on the 5th fret of the 5th string. We're going to pluck that hammer onto the 7th, up to the 5th fret of the 4th, and then back to the 7th fret of the 5th, pull that off to the 5th fret, and then pinky finger on the 8th fret of the 6th string. That's all in one smooth motion. Like that. And in total for the first line of the solo. For our second line of tab, we start with a really cool lick. Starts on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. We're going to hammer on to the 5th fret, and then 3rd fret of the 5th, then pluck the 5th fret of the 5th string, slide that up to the 7th fret, and so far. And then we're going to pluck the 5th fret of the 4th string, hammer on to the 7th, and then finally end on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. So that whole run. And then for the final phrase in this bar, we're going to start with the 5th fret of the 3rd, 7th fret of the 3rd, but you're going to bend that up, release it, and then hit that 7th fret again, 5th fret of the 3rd, 7th fret of the 4th string, and back to the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And that final phrase. And in total for that bar. For our second bar, we're going to take our middle finger, slide up to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, and then 8th fret of the 2nd, pluck that again, hold it out, and then hammer on to the 10th fret of the 2nd string. And then we end with the 8th fret of the 1st. And that phrase. And then to end this bar, we're going to pluck that 8th fret of the 1st string again, pluck it another time and hammer onto the 10th fret, and then go back to the 8th fret and hold that out. And the bar in total. For the third bar, we're going to take out your index finger and bar it across the 8th fret of the 1st and 2nd strings. You're going to pluck the 2nd string, hammer on with your ring finger onto the 10th fret, and then with an upstroke, hit the 1st string. That's already barred. Like that. And we're going to do that 5 times. Stay on this 8th fret of the 1st string. We're going to pluck this and hammer onto the 10th fret twice. And then we're going to go back to this 8th fret and do a down, up. Hold that out and then do another 4 plucks with a up, down, down. So in total for that bar. Then we slide our index finger up to the 12th fret of the 1st string. Ring finger will go onto the 15th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to pluck both of these strings, but as you pluck them, you're going to bend your ring finger up. Only your ring finger though, your index finger just stays where it is. And we're going to play that 8 times. We're going to start with the 13th fret of the 2nd string, pluck that, 14th fret of the 3rd string, and back to the 13th fret. Ring finger onto the 15th fret of the 2nd string, bend that up, and then with your pinky finger, you're going to hit the 17th fret of the 1st string, whilst you're bending up that 2nd string note. After that, you can release your bend and then hit that 15th fret again, pull it off to the 13th fret, back to the 15th, and then 12th fret of the 1st, back to the 15th fret, and then end on that 12th fret of the 1st string. And in total for that last phrase. And in total for the bar. And the final bar, we're going to bend up that 15th fret of the 2nd string, and then with your index finger already on the 12th fret, hit that, and we'd do that 3 times. And then to end this, we're going to just hit both of those strings and do that bend, and then cut it off to end the solo. And in total for that, and the full solo in total will sound like this. Finally, I'm going to teach you the lead line that's at the end of the song, which is a lot of fun to play. We're going to start with the 5th fret of the 5th string. We're going to ham that onto the 7th fret. We're going to do the same with the 4th string, so 5th fret, hammer onto the 7th. And then 5th fret of the 3rd string. And then pluck the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Pluck that again, and then bend up and release. And then we go 5th fret, 7th fret of the 4th string, and back to the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And that run in total. For our next phrase, we go 7th fret, 5th fret of the 3rd string, back to the 7th fret, and we bend that up. Release it, and then hit the 7th fret, and back down to the 5th fret. So that phrase. And then we end by plucking that 5th fret again, hammering onto the 7th, and then ending on that 5th fret. So that phrase. For our next bar, we're going to slide our ring finger up to the 7th fret of the 4th string, and then end on the 5th fret of the 4th string. And then for our next phrase, we're going to start with the 5th fret of the 6th string, hammer onto the 8th with your pinky, 5th fret of the 5th string, hammer onto the 7th fret with your ring finger, and then end on the 5th fret of the 4th string. So that phrase. And then to end it, we're going to hit the 7th fret of the 5th string, slide it down to the 5th fret, and then the last note is the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And in total, the outro lead sounds like this. So now I'll be playing through the song in its entirety, and I'll have a vocal track on top for some context. A big thank you to my awesome friend and artist by the name of Tugla for lending his awesome vocals for this playthrough. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel, there's a link below. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice playing along to and see how you go. Hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to head over to guitarsalreadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to take your guitar playing to the next level, then sign up to Guitars Already Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. It'd mean the world if you could hit that like button, hit subscribe, and click the little notification bell as well so that you don't miss out on my updates. Please leave your thoughts, comments, questions, or requests down below, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitars Already Hero. Cheers.